It's 5 p.m.
All right, quiet on the set.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world.
Broadcastlink.com.
This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now. Polkas After Dark, live. It's another live broadcast. Special edition. Now your hosts, Rob and Jerry.
Hey, well, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, it's all good because you guys are here with us and we're here with you on Polkas After Dark on Facebook Live, YouTube, and our broadcast link. With the C.com. Yeah. Hey, we want to welcome you guys. We got a great broadcast in store for you today. We're going to be talking in less than a half an hour with Mr. Kevin Solecki. And he, of course, is an accordion player traveling all over the world. He's played for probably maybe 8 or 10 years with the Polka Family Band and some other groups. And we're going to get a chance to chat with him in just a little while. Hey, speaking of Kevin, here's a song that he did with the Polka Family. Here's one called I Love Polka Music.
Picked up the phone 'cause I heard it ringing Saturday night. Yes, we're going dancing out to a place where everyone's smiling.
Hey, that just happens to be the sound of the Polka family, Hank Gazevich and the gang, featuring none other than Kevin Solecki on the accordion on that one. Hey, we also have a couple of tunes that he did on some of his solo projects. And we're going to bring one of those up right now. Listen to this. Here's one called the Polish Polka Medley. Kevin Solecki. Leave it up to Kevin Solecki to be creative on that. He arranged all of that, and it's some really cool stuff. We are going to be talking live with Kevin in a little bit more than 20 minutes. So please join us. We want to welcome you guys on Facebook Live and also our broadcast link and also to YouTube. Jerry, go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the people that are in the chat rooms.
Well, Alice Fischler came back this afternoon. We have Chris Tansky with us as well, Dave Lisowski, Donna Zelinsky with Teresa and Sarah. We have Ivan Mayers, Michelle Szymanski, and I'm sure the Szymanski family is listening in with her. Scotch and Donna came back this afternoon, and Sue M is here as well. Jeanette Tonsky just showed up, Bobby Ruzrutek, Linda P., Ginger Rutkowski.
Rutkowski, yes.
I know. Tommy Hoke's here again.
Hey.
He missed us, so he came back for day 2. We have Mark Schwoger with us, Gail Vojtovich, Mike and Jeannie Sobchak.
Wow.
Chet.
Hey, Chester. Jadosh.
Okay,
That's Chet.
I was going to say that, but you just kind of jumped in, but that's
Chet
okay.
and Jennifer and Melissa.
That's
Remember
right.
I called Melissa Karen last week at IPA?
Yeah.
I felt like this big.
You really suck at... No, you don't suck at names.
No, I'm usually
You're really
pretty
good.
Why I did that, I have no idea. She reminds me of a Karen.
We have Greg Schweidock with us, too. I'm going to get you right out of that one,
He's
honey.
dangerous. Schweidock.
And there's a bunch of other people who have not stopped to say hey yet.
Oh.
But you know who just said hi?
Who?
Was Tim Creenan.
Hey, Tim Creenan. Beautiful. Nice to see you and Marianne. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Polkas After Dark. Hey, we've got a song right now that we're going to play by Mr. Kevin Adams. And this is called You're Why God Made Me. Welcome to Polkas After Dark.
Well, on my first day in this world, nobody really knew what I'd be, what I'd become, what I was born to do. With a lot of luck, I grew up, and now I understand. When God made me, I believe He had a real good plan. Well, my lips were made to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. My hands were made to wipe away every single tear. My arms were made to hold you tight. My arms were made to see. You're why God made me. He put the beat here in my heart, the beat for only you. He gave me feet to walk beside the one I love so true. 1,000 times He makes my mind think of you each day. You are why I'm alive and the reason that I say. Well, my lips were made to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. My hands were made to wipe away every single tear. My arms were made to hold you tight. My eyes were made to see. You're why God made me. Well, my lips were made to whisper sweet nothings in your ear. My hands were made to wipe away every single tear. My arms were made to hold you tight. My eyes were made to see. You're why God made me. Yeah, you're why God made me.
Hey, that's Kevin Adams entertaining you on a Polkas After Dark. Yes, that's right, Mr. Creenan. Although it's not dark, it is still called Polkas After Dark. We're not going there. Do you remember when we started
did. It
out
was
with
Polka After
with
Dark,
Saturdays?
Before Dark.
Yeah, Saturdays were Polkas After Dark because it started at 10 back then. Now we're getting older. We have to start at 9.
Much earlier.
When are we going to start at 6 on a Saturday? I'm waiting for that.
And we just never know.
Yeah, exactly. And also, let's see here. Yeah, then we had Polkas Before Dark on Sunday afternoons, and then it became fall, and at 5 o'clock it
was
started
dark.
to get dark. So, hey, so put that in your pipe and smoke it, Mr. Creenan. Jeez. Let's bring up TBC, the Brass Connection, for all of our Canadian family up there tuned in on our broadcast link. Don't forget, we also have our own YouTube channel now, which you can subscribe to, and it is Polkas After Dark. That's all you got to click on, Polkas After Dark. You go over to YouTube, you'll see the live stream, or you can stay right here on Facebook as well as our broadcast link.
With a C? I said with a C.
Okay, but it
I was
took a
late.
little while. Yeah.
Well, because you've just been saying it for me.
Well, don't be late. Hey, how about Jimmy Weber to sing about No More Mary Ellens? Hey, this is off of the Energy recording of TBC, the Brass Connection. Hey, gonna say hi to Rob Mazer, and it was great to talk to you and Jeanette, and also to Brian up there at the IPA convention last week. A very successful convention, we might add. And thank you to Christy Kravich and all of the officers and directors.
I was sitting at a table in the local bar. The polka band was playing all the songs the people like to hear. I heard just what the polka lyrics had to say. I asked the waitress for another beer to pass the time away. The lyrics told of girls whose game was broken hearts, although the names they sang of meant nothing to me. As I watched the couples dance and twirl around the floor, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl had just walked through the door. I don't want any Mary Lou's or Mary Ellens, no blue eyes crying in the rain, no more broken hearts and pain. I want a girl whose dark eyes wink at only me, like sweet Belinda, Angeline, and Rosemary.
Hey, Patty Watson's here as well. Patty, and of course, Musical Mark out of the city of North Tonawanda.
As she passed me by, she winked and gave a sexy smile. But then she went to flirt and dance with almost every other guy. She came and sat by me and sweetly asked my name. She said that hers was Mary Ellen, and I knew her clever game. I know a lot of...
Hey, we want to say hi, give a big shout out to a very famous concertina player, Mr. Jim Horozdowski. Jim, thanks so much for popping in here.
My cards right, maybe we would wed. I had to smile and finally this is what I said. I don't want any Mary Lou's or Mary Ellens, no blue eyes crying in the rain, no more broken hearts and pain. I want a girl whose dark eyes wink at only me, like sweet Belinda, Angeline, and Rosemary. One more time. No, 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 no more Mary Lou's or Mary Ellens, no blue eyes crying in the rain, no more broken hearts and pain. I want a girl whose dark eyes wink at only me, like sweet Belinda, Angeline, and Rosemary.
Hey, that's the sound of TBC, the Brass Connection, the earlier version of those guys. That's off of a recording called Energy, not to be confused with the band called Energy that did a fantastic job over at the IPA last week, the International Polka Association Convention and Festival. Jerry and I had a blast over there, as well as a lot of other folks. As you can see and you can imagine, the bands were fantastic. The crowd was great. The food was awesome at the banquet. We gotta toss that in for the folks over at the DoubleTree by Hilton in Pittsburgh, Cranberry. And I was actually hollered at by Mr. Brian Urbanzik. He said, that's actually called Mars.
You're in Mars.
You're in Mars. So we had a minor disagreement. I had to take him out in the out and out back of the hotel, and of course I came back all bruised up. But
how was that? What happened to you?
I think I was okay. Hey, for Brian, also to Kayla, also to Lori and Kathy, we want to send a song out to you guys. Also to our Canadian contingent once again, the Gurras. Let's see, we have the Papugas. Gosh, who else is tuning in today? We've got a lot of folks here. It's really kind of nice to see that on a Sunday afternoon. And in just about 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to be contacting Mr. Kevin Solecki, accordionist extraordinaire from Carnegie, Pennsylvania, down around Pittsburgh. And he's going to be telling us all about the travel that he has been doing. But let's go ahead and get a song up right now by the boys for Chris Tansky. By special request, here's one called Mary Jane Polka.
Mary Jane, you are driving me insane. Tell me that you love me, but you're lying. Mary Jane, I still love you just the same. You're gonna break my heart and leave me crying. Mary Jane, znowu kręcić cały dzień. Ty mówisz, że mnie kochać, lecz to bajka. Mary Jane, dalej kocham cię co dzień. Złamała serce me, to będę płakał. Mary Jane, you are driving me insane. Tell me that you love me, but you're lying. Mary Jane, I still love you just the same. You're gonna break my heart and leave me crying. Mary Jane, znowu kręcić cały dzień. Ty mówisz, że mnie kochać, lecz to bajka. Mary Jane, dalej kocham cię co dzień. Złamała serce me, to będę płakał.
Hey, here's a little bit of Accordion a Go-Go featuring Mr. Kevin Solecki. We have him on the phone. We'll be talking to him right after this tune. Don't you dare go away. Now you can see why we call the guy accordion player extraordinaire. That is Mr. Kevin Solecki, and we are going to be switching over to him. Oh, in just about a second here, I just have to bring up a screen. Look, there is the screen. We now have live on our broadcast link and Facebook Live on our YouTube channel, Mr. Kevin Solecki. Kevin, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Robin. How's it going, Jerry?
How's
everybody doing?
It is great. Thank you so much. We understand that you just got back from a very large trip, and that was on Friday evening. Tell us a little bit about that before we go and get into a bunch of questions for you, Kev.
Absolutely. Yeah, my girlfriend Shelly and I ended up going to Italy. We left a couple weeks ago and got back late Friday night, and it was our first time out there. We had an absolute ball. It was a wonderful trip. Beautifully enough, nothing went wrong. Didn't miss any flights, didn't miss any trains along our travels. Everything was fabulous, had beautiful weather. We were supposed to go out last year in April, and we had our tickets booked, and of course got canceled because of COVID. But we kind of put it on hold for a little while, and we ended up booking our flights a couple months ago, and we held off until last minute, 1 week before our trip, to book any of the hotels and train tickets, and we didn't have any issues with anything, no problems. It was a fantastic trip, and nice to be back home as well and share all the wonderful memories with people. So.
Well, that's great. And also, I have to ask you, did you play some accordion while you were there?
I did.
Of course, the answer is yes.
Yeah, we went to Castelfidardo, which is the capital of the accordion world. It's where many of the major companies produce accordions, manufacture them, and had a chance to meet up with a handful of companies that I do some business with, and all wonderful people, had a wonderful time, and of course they ended up throwing a few accordions on me, and I had to play a few Italian songs for them.
That's beautiful. The closest Jerry and I ever got to Italy was the Italian restaurant up here on the corner up by our house. I don't know if a trip is in our immediate future or not, Kevin. Hey, also, a lot of people don't know this about you, but you are a Grammy-nominated accordionist, and you're also the owner of an accordion company. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, the Grammy nomination. When was that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I released an album back in 2005, and was blessed and honored enough to be nominated with a Grammy Award nomination for the 2006 season, and was fantastic. Had a chance to go out to the Grammys and take part of all the festivities, and of course the red carpet and the awards ceremony, the after party. Had an absolute wonderful time, and and actually have been there several times since then, just as a spectator, just as a visitor. But it's always a lot of fun to go to the Grammys. And yes, I also own Carnegie Accordion Company, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh. That's where Carnegie's located, just west of the city. Okay. And I opened up the shop about 5.5 years ago, and I do some mechanical repairs on accordions. I am an authorized Roland accordion dealer, so I sell Roland accordions. I also sell other brand accordions, and I also have my own brand accordion. Oh. And that was part of the trip going out to Italy to visit some folks. Like I mentioned, I do some business with. So, I sell straps and cases, and I give lessons. So it's a little small place. It's about 325 square feet, not very big, but just enough space for me to cram as many accordions into one room as I can, and it's wonderful. So I do that on the side as well as doing performances and all around town, and I love it.
Now, you have done some chapel church performances as well as some Polish festivals. You've played on a couple of cruises, if memory serves me correctly.
You are correct.
Do you have a most memorable gig that you've played, Kevin? Or they're probably all memorable, right?
They are, and as being a musician, Robin, that you have so many great memories, and if somebody probably asked you to pick out just one of your favorite memories, it would be hard to do, especially with your resume. But yes, it's they're all memorable, and hopefully I'm able to make more memories in the future here. So.
Kevin, are you originally from Pennsylvania? Where were you born?
Born and raised around Detroit, Michigan, and when I turned 18 years old, I moved to Pittsburgh. I started playing with Polka Family back in the summer of 1996, just before I turned 18 years old.
Wow.
And Hank booked me for a handful of gigs for that summer, and started to play more and more with them, and had the opportunity to jump aboard with them full time, and of course, who would turn that down? So
yeah.
I moved to so I moved to Pittsburgh the beginning of 1997, and have been here ever since. And it was basically a halfway location between Detroit and where Polka Family had their home base. So decided to move to Pittsburgh and give it a shot, and absolutely fell in love with the city after a short time here, and time just started to fly. 1 year turned into 2, into 5, and bought a place, and decided to call it my home, and I've been here ever since, Robin.
Good for you. Hey, I hate to bombard you with all these questions, but Kevin, what was the very first music that you heard? Was it polkas or was it something else?
No, believe it or not, I never had an accordion instructor, or I should take that back. I never had an instructor that played accordion. So my instructor growing up as a kid was a classical guitarist, and I started taking lessons off him at the age of 6.
Oh, wow.
And so even when we were in the small little room in his music studio, he would have his guitar on his lap and would play along with me, and he'd reach over sometimes with his left hand and try to play my keyboard and try to show me all the mistakes I was making, but he was making a lot more mistakes than I was, so it was it was funny. But no, I never grew up with polkas. I am of Polish descent, and my parents had some old Polish records from the old school, records that my mom's father had.
Sure.
So I guess there was some polka records mixed amongst all the other records that he had. So I guess you could say I was introduced to it maybe at a young age, but I really didn't know the difference between at that time at the age of 6 a polka or a classical song or a tango. But I really started to get into Polish music when I was about maybe 14 years old or so. I was listening to the AM radio in Detroit and stumbled upon a polka show and heard some accordions playing, and all of a sudden all these horns started playing, and they were advertising some bands that were playing at a local church festival. And I went down with my mom. She took me down. I was 14 years old, and my first Polish polka band that I remember hearing was Eddie B. And then Polka Family and Henny and the Versajays, they were all playing at the same festival.
Oh,
and
geez.
That's really, really where I started to fall in love with polkas. Just visiting this tent with 1,000 people in there, and just the powerful music and the people dancing and having a great time and singing. And that's really when I started to pay attention to, Polish polkas. Just kind of a whole new world for me at the time, but it's fantastic.
Wow. You have recorded so many CDs of vinyl way back when. Tell us do you have a count of how many recordings you've done, Kevin, including your solo projects? Yeah,
I've done 3, if you want to call them solo projects. One of them was pure solo, just accordion by itself, an album called Romantic Melodies, and just played a bunch of old-time love songs. But before that, I had selections and selective sounds, and had a very talented cast of musicians that played background music with me. And so I have those 3 recordings that I was in charge of. I was on, I believe, 5 Polka Family records.
Okay.
And was blessed enough to be a guest artist on a handful of recordings for some people throughout the years. So really don't have an actual count, but
well, a cheap plug for Kevin Solecki. How would somebody get a hold of some or all of your recordings?
Yeah, right now digital distribution is what everyone is getting music. That's where they're getting their music from, whether it's iTunes or Amazon or Apple Music. So you can find my selections and Selective Sounds recordings on any of those platforms. I actually sold out of my Romantic Melodies CDs about a year ago and decided not to do a reorder. Seems like as we're getting more and more into the future that CDs are becoming a thing of the past, which is crazy. But I mean, you get a car nowadays and cars don't even really have CD players in them anymore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Yeah, so digital distribution is where everyone seems to grab their music from. So, like I mentioned, iTunes or Apple Music, I think they call it now. And there's a ton of digital distribution sites where you can grab music from. And you can stream music, you can listen to it on YouTube, and that's probably my go-to when I tell people, hey, if you want to buy some of my music and check out any of those platforms. So, but I do have some physical CDs left of selections and Selective Sounds, but it seems like those are more difficult to push now as CDs are kind of becoming a thing of the past.
Well, also with the pandemic, Jerry and I were the ones who kind of jumped on board and started doing just a couple of Facebook Live broadcasts for Easter Sunday and Dingus Day last year in 2020, and we never dreamed that it would blossom into this, that we now have 3 platforms that we broadcast on live on Saturdays and Sundays with Polkas After Dark. But I'm sure that people would like to be able to get a hold of those. Do you have a website or a number that you can give us?
I do. You can check my website out. It's kevinsolecki.com. It's KevinSolecki.com. And I have some information on that website, some contact information, and you can give me a call, you can drop me an email, you can check out some of the links that I have as far as listening or purchasing any of my music.
Beautiful. That's great. Also, who was your biggest influence? I got to ask that, being that you really weren't into that much of polka music, but I think maybe as time grew, you did idolize some of the polka accordionists and other musicians. But who was your biggest influence growing up?
Yeah, like you said, not really growing up into it. There was never a specific person that I gravitated towards, but when I was introduced to a lot of the nation's top bands, I mean, they all had fantastic accordion players. Al Piakowski, John Zalasko, Richie Tokarz. I mean, I never copied any of their styles. I just was always in awe of listening to their talents and their abilities of what they could do. And so, if you hear my playing, it sounds nothing like those guys. Those guys are all masters of what they do. And I was just always the kid in the candy store listening to them.
You've come a long way, and talking about a master, you truly are of the accordion. That's for sure. Do you play any other instruments, Kevin?
Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. No, not really. Accordion's my main instrument. I dabbled in the trumpet for a few years, and it was awesome getting some one-on-one, some tips and some lessons from Hank Kuzevich. I just never really had the talent for the trumpet, but yeah, I dabble on piano a little bit, but my left hand's a little weak. Playing all the buttons throughout the years, it seems like my thumb doesn't want to move the way I would want it to on the piano on the left hand, or playing with my pinky finger. Sometimes it feels a little awkward because I don't heavily play with my pinky on the accordion. So right there, I'm already down a couple of weak fingers. But no, the accordion's really the main instrument.
And how about what is the largest crowd? If you can maybe kind of go back into your memory banks, what's the largest crowd that you performed for?
Wow, definitely was with Polka Family. We had some packed houses wherever we went. So to give you an actual answer to that, I can't quite remember. It might have been maybe at Milwaukee Polish Festival. It could have been up at Seven Springs. It could have been at Pulaski Polka Days. I mean, we always had some really phenomenal crowds out there. So I would have to say probably one of those venues.
You've written a lot of songs. You've composed a lot of songs of your own. Tell us about a couple of those, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, not really compositions. I mean, I wrote some smaller tunes, some waltzes of my own that I play. Never wrote any music down or advertised anything as far as, hey, this is what I wrote, this is what I composed. But I do basically some arranging, just coming up with different arrangements. So that's something that music writing is something I've never really had a talent for. I mean, you got guys like Hank Guzevich or Lenny Gomolka, just can write some amazing tunes. And again, that's just not my forte, not my strong point. But I definitely love to take some songs and do some different arrangements with them. And
are you going to be playing with any other bands, or do you fill in with other groups or play steady with other groups, or are you just super busy doing your solo work right now?
Yeah, I really am super busy doing the solo work, Robin. Of course, last year took a little hit with the pandemic, but things are finally starting to pick up again. And now Oktoberfest season is starting, so I mean, the calendar is pretty full, which is nice to see. It's been good year and a half or so since my calendar looked like it does right now, especially for the remaining part of September and into October. But I don't have any plans to play with any polka bands. Usually I'll refuse some invites. I'm always honored to get some calls from some guys, but my bellow shaking arm is nowhere where it used to be. So,
really?
Oh yeah, I can remember. Wow, this is probably, I want to say maybe 5 years ago or so. John Gura called, and he was looking for an accordion player for a local event that he did around Pittsburgh. And I told him, John, I appreciate the call, but if you can find anybody else, I'm sure they're going to work out a lot better for you. He said, no, I'm calling you. I want you to do it. So Jack Beachley was playing concertina with me that day, and I think after about 2 or 3 songs, my left arm for bellow shaking was like jelly. So Jack, as talented as he is, he picked up his accordion that he brought with him, and he started bellow shaking and picked up on my slack. And then as the night progressed, I got a little bit stronger. But I'm definitely out of shape as far as with my bellow shaking arms.
What genre of music does Kevin Solecki listen to when he's not listening to polkas?
I really love a wide variety of music. I mean, believe it or not, I love techno music.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of musicians don't usually gravitate towards, electronic music, techno music, but I love that stuff. Just a lot of high energy music, especially when you're driving. It just really pumps you up and seems like you can drive for 10 hours straight listening to that. But I love rock. I love listening to classical music. I really don't at all play jazz or understand jazz very well, but I love listening to it. Country music. So I'm really kind of across the board. I like a lot of different styles of music. Ethnic music. I love French music and Italian music. So,
gotcha.
Wide variety.
Nice. How about as far as your favorite band? Do you have a favorite band out there, one that you've never played with, but maybe you'd like to someday, or sit in with? And it could be a band. It could also be just an individual.
That's an easy question to answer. The Mavericks. I love the Mavericks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you've never had the opportunity, huh?
No, they have an incredible accordion player, Michael Guerra. And he's phenomenal. He plays the button accordion, and he fits in with that band like a glove. He's phenomenal, and of course Raul with his voice is just so powerful and at times angelic. And I mean, the Mavericks are a great band. They're coming to Pittsburgh at the end of this month, and my girlfriend Shelly ended up getting some tickets because my birthday's coming up at the beginning of October, so it's a little early birthday gift. And
October what, Kev?
October 8th.
October 8th. Well, happy future birthday to you. Now I'm going to go out on a limb. Are you even 30 years old yet?
I'm 21, Robin.
I was going to say there's
Yeah.
no way that you could be approaching 30. And Jerry's laughing in the background too. She heard
I
that.
hear her laughing.
It's like,
I'm only
uh-oh.
18. So.
Yeah, she's only 18, so.
I'll be 43.
You'll-
43.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Are you
43.
serious?
Absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
see, I would have placed you in your 30s, early 30s. Oh, my gosh. So it has been that long that I've known you. That's kind of scary.
It's been a long time.
Hey, how about a recording studio? What's your favorite studio that you've been in? And not so much the guys that you've worked with, but maybe the engineer. Or have you done a lot of stuff on your own?
Yeah, no, I loved going to visit Peppermint Studios. Of course, Gary Ramy is the master of what he does, and I didn't record in his studio, but I mixed a couple of albums over there, and Gary is just amazing to work with, and of course, being in that studio, all the history and all the incredible musicians that have walked through those doors and played into those microphones. I mean, that was definitely a very cool experience to go there several times and to work with Gary. I recorded my Selections CD with Hank Guzevich, and of course he has his mobile studio. So
Yes.
we recorded that in several different states and in how many different rooms and people's homes. And
wow.
Hank was just incredible to work with. And Eddie Klanick, who lives down in Nashville. Yeah, lives down in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, he's the drummer, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he's also another one of those multi-talented musicians. And
We saw
But yeah.
them, Jerry and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kevin, but Jerry and I saw them for the very first time over at the IPA this past weekend for Labor Day. And man, what a phenomenal showman. The band is excellent. Never heard a band play a 25-minute medley and just keep the people going. Like, it was amazing. It really was.
yeah, they are definitely the top of their game. I mean, they are a great band. And matter of fact, their accordion player, Brian O'Boyle, who's a really good friend of mine, he was going to be the next person I was going to mention, as far as he also has a mobile studio.
Oh.
So he recorded half of my Selective Sounds CD and then my Romantic Melody CD. And Brian is just super, super talented, has a phenomenal ear, and it was, great working with him as well. So.
And he is the tall guy, right?
Yeah, he's the tall guy.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, there were so many women salivating, standing by, and Jerry can attest to this too, because she was one, but she's like, oh my God, that guy looks like he should be in movies. Look at his eyes. And I'm like, I'm not looking at the guy's eyes. I'm sorry. But no, just fantastic musicians all around, and
Yes.
he himself included.
Yes, definitely.
Hey, I can't believe that we're coming to a close here, and I do have a couple more questions for you. Do you have any favorite breakdown stories that maybe you were driving to a gig, from a gig, you were traveling with a band? Do you have anything like that you can share with us?
Breakdown stories. I can't really remember any of the Polka family vans breaking down when I was traveling with them. Of course, some people might be aware of or they were involved in a couple accidents throughout the years.
Yes.
But I was not part of the band at any of those times. But I remember one time we were going to play out at, I believe it was the IPA festival it was going to be in Chicago.
Okay.
And Polka family traveled around for many years in two different vans. So it was the other van, the van that I was not traveling in, that broke down.
Oh.
And we had to adjust and ask a few musicians that were already at the festival if they could fill in with us. So that would probably be my most memorable breakdown story, even though I wasn't involved in the breakdown with
Sure.
that van.
Sure.
I've had a flat tire before on the Ohio Turnpike in the middle of the winter time at midnight, and getting towed. One time, my truck broke down, and we had to get towed, I think, 100 miles back to Pittsburgh, and that was again in the winter time and really early in the morning. So, other than that, I've been pretty fortunate with nothing major happening. No injuries or anything, thank God. But
now, Kevin Solecki, what would you say to somebody that just wants to get started in music? They want to get into it. It could be any genre whatsoever. What helpful hints or suggestions would Kevin Solecki give to that individual?
just follow your heart. Music is fantastic. It's a universal language. It brings happiness to so many people. It doesn't matter what style or like you said, Robin, what genre you want to get into. Just follow your heart. Do something you love. Be creative. Music is fabulous, as everyone listening knows. And that's why they're listening, because of music. It just brings people together. And follow your heart, have fun, and hopefully you get some great results, and it'll make you extremely happy, like it does with me and so many millions of other people. So.
Well, that is great. Kevin, listen, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Jerry also thanks you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're probably still tired with jet lag. One more thing that I do want to ask you, though, is what is on the horizon for Kevin? Where are you going to be performing next?
Well, I actually have a few shows to do this week, some private engagements for Oktoberfest season, which is just starting right now. I'll be doing some public appearances. I play over at the Penn Brewery in Pittsburgh. I've been doing that for maybe the last 15 years or so, 14 years. I'll play for their Oktoberfest for 2 weekends in a row, and that's always a blast, a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it didn't happen last year because of COVID, but I think we're going to have a great crowd and a fun time this year. Playing at a few restaurants and wineries and other small breweries around the area coming up soon. It's just... and of course the private events, I still do I play at weddings and anniversaries and birthday parties, so I have a handful of those events on the schedule as well. But yeah, it's going to be a fun Oktoberfest season for sure. It's I don't have a schedule anywhere like near what Alex Meixner does with his Oktoberfest season, but it's a busy time of the year. So
well, understandable. Fun. Kevin, thank you so very much. Love you, man. You've done so much for polka music and all the different genres, and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting up in the morning and playing for people and making them happy, because that's the key to success.
Absolutely. Love you too, Robin. Thank you, Jerry. It was nice to be a part of your show. Thanks for inviting me, and hello to everybody out there.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna finish this segment out right now with a little bit of your polka jamboree. Hey, that's Mr. Kevin Solecki that was just entertaining you with a fantastic interview right here on Polkas After Dark on our broadcast link.
With a C.com.
Also live streaming on YouTube now as well as Facebook Live. And we want to thank Kevin once again. He said, you know what, I forgot to comment on something. I wanted to comment on congratulating the Steelers on a victory today. And he and I got a chance to talk because I'm originally from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, as a lot of you guys know. And no,
come on, I'm a Bills girl.
I know, but I got to meet a lot of the players way back when. Gosh, when I was young, and I'm talking in my early teens and early 20s. And
you remember that far back?
I do, believe it or not. It's crazy. Hey, well, if you're just joining us, welcome to Polkas After Dark. We want to say hello to all the folks in our chat rooms. If, Jerry, you wouldn't mind, why don't you go ahead and say hello to some people here? It looks like Mr. Chester Jadosh is still there. He says the pool party rocked. Mon Valley Push sounded awesome. That's another guy we got to get a hold of us, Frank Stetter. We talked to him for almost a half an hour after the pool party, and he's a guy that we definitely have to bring on.
I'm sure he's got a lot of breakdown stories.
yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And also Mr. Brian Shankus from Polish Newcastle Radio, Wicked Good Polkas, heard on their station every Saturday, so you want to make sure that you tune those guys in. The guys and gals with Polish Newcastle Radio, they do a lot of fun stuff. And so go ahead.
Oh, we have Alice Fischler, Chris Curtis, Dave Lisowski, Donna Zielinski with Teresa and Sarah, Ivan Mayers, Michelle Szymanski and the Szymanski family. We have Scotch and Donna, and we have Sharon and Tom Golden and Chelsea as well.
Oh, Chelsea's on.
That is awesome. Welcome, Chelsea.
Yeah.
We have Mark Schwoger, Mary Lou Cherniak, Les Kopushchinsky, Helena Garbage, Chester...
Garbach.
You always
Garbach.
say that.
It's Garbach. It's G-A-B-A-R. It's Garbach. It's pronounced. Trust me. It's
know,
pronounced
but I always
Garbach.
say it wrong. Maybe
That's
you
all
should.
right.
I'll just say Helena, and then you can
Helena.
say it.
Okay. Here you go.
And then we have Jen Pianowski.
So that means Ricky's tuned in.
Yes,
if Jen is there.
I believe so.
How about the folks out in Arizona?
We have Loretta with us.
Oh, Loretta's not in Arizona. I think
know.
she's in
I'm
Ohio.
heading up the
Hey,
chart
her
here.
daughter. Did you know her daughter got married yesterday?
I know. I heard.
Wow. We called her, talked to her this morning.
Yes.
And she called back. We woke her up. It was like, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock, and she was still snoozing. No, she was laughing. She said, no, I've been up, but thank you so much for the call. We just wanted to find out because we saw some pictures on Facebook and saw some comments, so we knew it was a good time with everybody, with the Curtis family out there for the wedding.
All right, so in Arizona we got Ginger.
Ginger Redkowski.
Hey, Ginger.
Probably Dave and Bonker are listening
I
and
would
too or
think
watching.
so. And my brother in New Mexico, Dan the Man. Jeanette Tonsky, Patty, Mark, and Nate. Bob Mazer.
Rob is on. Rob is also with Polish Newcastle Radio.
Okay.
And it was great to meet Jeanette Tonsky.
Yes, it
last
was.
week. You know, we said, we can't wait to meet her, and then we did, and it's like, hey, this is kind of fun.
She looks exactly like her picture.
Yes.
Not many people do.
I mentioned that.
She was so easy to spot.
She looks identical to the picture, you know. I don't know if she puts that on dating sites or not, but hey, that's perfect for that.
That would definitely not be a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Linda P., Bobby Rosutek. Just scrolling through here. I think that's it.
Okay, good.
Maybe.
Hey, you know, we've got a song by PCM. I don't know if Mitch and Ursula are on again today. They were last evening, and Ursula celebrated her birthday yesterday.
They were earlier. I just don't see them right now. They might just be listening and not be in the chat room.
Listening and not in the chat room. Gotcha. Hey, so for Ursula, once again, a very, very happy birthday to you. Here's PCM with a little bit of Yeja Boat.
wyświecają, muzyka pięknie gra i wszyscy śpiewają. Muzyka pięknie gra i wszyscy śpiewają. Jedzie do starego kraju, nie wróci mi praca, aż odpoczynają. Nie wróci mi praca, aż odpoczynają. We're going on a great big boat up a lazy river on a happy polka cruise, singing all together. On a happy polka blues cruise, singing all together. Now the captain joins the band with his concertina. Stash and Yasha gonna dance with Helcha and Janina. Stash and Yasha gonna dance with Helcha and Janina. Now the cruise is ending, the sun is slowly rising. Everybody's doing the polka, still harmonizing. Everybody's doing the polka, still harmonizing.
A little bit of Wally and Richie Dombrowski, PCM, the Polka Country Musicians, entertaining you right here on a Polkas After Dark. Our broadcast link this Sunday. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say with the C.
Okay,
see? And then I don't see it, and you're like,
okay. All right.
Just like that. You're going,
We'll switch that around. From now on, you say our broadcast link, and then if I feel like it, I'll say with a C, and then you say .com, or we both do it. Whatever. People kind of know right now. Geez,
I know,
with
but it's such a joke.
Yes, it is. We're such a joke, and I don't know why. I don't know
we say
why
something,
people.
and people start coming up with different letters to something.
Well,
And,
did you hear
and we
Lynn
just-
Kaminsky last week? I mean, she's sitting there talking to us and watching the broadcast from the IPA that we did Thursday evening, and we want to thank the IPA for allowing us the opportunity to do that broadcast. We said, well, we're going to go on at about 10 o'clock at night and finish up at 11:30 or so. Well, 11:30 ended up to be 1:30 in the morning. And we had some fun with some people there, so it was great. They came in right after the dance that the Berg boys played, and they did a fantastic job over at the Elks Club. Hey, before you get into your information on, let's see here, on the upcoming events, I want to grab the microphone here and also see. Oh, it's my stomach. Sorry.
I'm doing laundry.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
'Cause
I need
heard-
some clean clothes for work tomorrow.
I heard the gurgle. Oh, okay. I heard the gurgle. See, it's nice when you work from home. Is occasionally I'll put on pants. Yeah.
Rarely.
I mean, I always
Be
have
honest,
a nice shirt on.
rarely.
I always have a nice shirt on because you never know when a Teams meeting is going to be coming up, or a Zoom meeting or whatever. Hey, so once again, guys, you heard Mr. Kevin Solecki from Carnegie/Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with his interview today. Next week, we're looking forward to talking to Mitch Biskup from the New Brass, and we want to thank Les Kapuscinski again, coming through with some really great photographs of Mitch that we're going to be loading right after this broadcast. We do those to get ready for the following week, and we had a bunch of stuff. Hey, then the following week, the 26th of September, is Ricky Krupski. He's going to be talking with the award that Tony won, and with the IPA, the deceased category. And I really wish that Tony would have been around to get that in person. That would have been so nice. But his son, Buddy, did a great job
He did.
with that. So we're going to be talking to him about the Crew Brothers and also the new band 7, Buffalo's newest, hottest band. A couple of the guys from the News, a couple of the guys from Focus. They have banded together, no pun intended, joined forces, and they are going to be playing a gig on September the 25th, which I'll bring up in a little bit. October the 3rd, we're going to be talking live with Frank Lischka from Washington, Pennsylvania. You remember Frankie. Everybody remembers Frankie from the Brass Connection and currently with the Boys. Let's see, October the 10th, speaking of the Boys, we're going to be talking to Mike Matuzak, living in Maryland. He's on vacation this week, so we want to wish them well. Great weather. Hopefully it's going to be nice out there. He mentioned they and a bunch of folks are going to go out to Rehoboth and just hang out and have a good time, because that would have been this weekend, but unfortunately Rehoboth did not allow, due to the COVID restrictions, people to come out. And of course, Mike Matuzak with the Charm City Sound, also now with the Boys. October the 17th is Nick Nido from the Mass Brass, currently with Joe Stanky. And let's see here, on October the 24th, Freddie Kinchersky, originally from Plainfield, New Jersey, and he is now residing with his lovely wife Linda out in Florida, or down in Florida, I should say. That's the Freddie K Band. We're trying to get a couple of guys, I don't know, that's like one of three for October the 31st. It's a Halloween thing. I think that would be great to get Weber on here, because he did a great job with co-emceeing over at the IPA banquet.
Absolutely entertaining.
He was funny. I mean, I'm sorry, but I've known him joke around, but never something like that. So if he ever quits his day job, and if he quits playing polka music, he could always go into stand-up comedy. So we're going to try to get a hold of him for that week. Can't guarantee it, though. November the 7th, there is no broadcast because Jerry and I are going to be coming back from the USPA. And then on November 14th, Dawn Rosinski from Grand Rapids, Michigan. She's going to be talking about the Polski Chicks, the group, 4-piece, but they sound like a 6-piece band, and they're going to be coming out with a brand new recording in the not too distant future. So we're going to try to get our hands on that. And November 21st is Jody Maddie from Parma, Ohio, with the Uptown Sound, formerly a band known as the Honky Express. Jerry, why don't you go ahead and mention your tunes, or your locations there, and I've got a Tune by the Beat coming up.
Awesome. The dance is coming up on Saturday, September 25th from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is Mikey Costa and the Beat and Polka Family, as well as IJs from the PNCR at the American Legion Blue Ridge, Post 164. It is an outdoor pavilion, so just be prepared in case it's a little chilly. You might want to bring your Prajna with you. They are located at 450 Willow Grove Street at Hackettstown, New Jersey. Zip code there is 07840. Kids 16 and under are free as with an adult. Bring your own lounge chairs, whatever kind of chairs you want to bring, and yard games. It's a no BYOB, no BYOF. Pavilion opens up at 12. For ticket and table reservations, you can call, text, or email Mike Pikowski. Phone number is 908-209-9843. Again, that number is 908-209-9843. Or you can email michael.pikowski@gmail.com. Kitchen will be open and the catering is going to be done by Brian from the Legion. Tickets are only $23. Make sure you get your tickets ahead of time. It says no walk-ins allowed because of the COVID-19 restrictions, but that may have changed since I have gotten this flyer here. Also coming up in 2021, a Saturday night dance on the 4th of December will be the Just Say Ho 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 5 with Lenny Gamoka and Chicago Push from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Independence Firehouse or the American Legion. I guess they weren't 1,000% sure on that. So make sure you get your tickets for the Mikey Costa and the Beat and Polka Family Dance going on at the American Legion in Blue Ridge in Hackettstown, New Jersey.
Yeah, all right, and we will see everybody at the USPA Mini Polka Fest. We're going to be there on Friday evening. And no, go right ahead. I just saw that and I wanted to jump in and say something.
All right. We are going to be at the Mini Fest on November 5th and 6th at the Holiday Inn, Independence, Ohio. On Friday, November 5th, we're going to be hanging out with Energy and Dinah versus Stick Tone Airs.
Yes.
Doors open at 6, music from 7 to 1. And then on Saturday, we're going to be hanging out with Lenny Gamoka and Chicago Push, Polka Family, Polka Country Musicians. Doors open at 3, music from 4 to 1. Band lineup is subject to change. Sorry, I'm flipping it over.
No, that's
They're
quite all
also
right.
going to be doing an award ceremony on Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. And it will be in the ballroom, Cash Bar. There will be a number of people honored. Ed Swick is one, Ron Urbanczyk, and Emily
Eddie
Weiss.
Swick?
Swick?
Oh,
Did I not say that right?
Eddie Shivets.
Oh,
Yes, Eddie Shivets, yeah.
Maybe I need
you could say
glasses.
Swick. No, that's fine. You could say that.
I really stink at Polish. Did you ever notice that?
No, I've never noticed that at all. But I do too, so I can't throw rocks.
I was trying to get through it without messing anything else up. So you can
Too
call
late.
the holiday. You can call the Holiday Inn Independence at 216-524-8050. Let them know that you are coming for the USPA Mini Fest, and there is a special room rate.
Okay, Eddie Shivets, you
Sorry.
mentioned him, but how about the other two folks on that
I did
roster?
say it. It's
Did you say
Ron
Ron
Urbanczyk
Urbanczyk?
and Emily
And
Bison.
Emily Bison. Yeah, so that's going to be really cool. We're going to be excited to see you guys there. Hopefully everything will go well. It looks like things are still staying somewhat normal. I think they had a great crowd at the game today. Unfortunately, our team did not win. But
Well, you said the
well,
other team was yours.
Kevin's did. Well, Kevin's did. Yeah. See, I've always been a Pittsburgh fan growing up in Uniontown. But
I'll forgive
you.
you.
And,
I
and
still
also,
love you.
also you have to understand too. I am not a big sports fan, big sports fanatic. Will I put on the big game? Yes, I will. Will I put on playoff games? Yes, I will, but only if we're in them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we have.
Wait.
a
I
song by
have one
Mr.
more thing to say.
Oh, okay, please.
Okay, so Mary Lou said, she asked if we could mention this. She said that Basha Adams set a meeting with the chatters in the lobby at IPA on Sunday.
Okay.
But unfortunately, she was called to sing with Ray J. And she feels so bad that she didn't get to be with everybody during that. So her apologies are going out to all the chatters.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to make mention.
Yep, but she sounded good singing with
She
Ray
sure
J.
did. I have that on video.
Yeah, and popped that onto Facebook and everything. We had a blast over there at the IPA. Hopefully the USPA is going to be just as fun. And we have a song here by The Beat, Michael Costin, The Beat, because you mentioned that Dance
I did.
5.
The Dance 5.
The Dance 5. And here's a song by these guys off of their brand new release, The Reason. Here's the title cut.
space and time, and reasons you are mine. Should I walk alone one day, find that love just couldn't stay, reasons I would find a way, sending all my love to you, reasons we can make it through, reasons in my mind, no longer lost in time, moonlight of my life, shine on every night, reasons I am here with you, to live this life and honor you, reasons we will see it through, if I lost everything I still have you, my reason.
You're watching Polkas After Dark.
Hey, that's The Reason, and that is a great tune off of the brand new recording titled The Reason. That's Mike Costa and The Beat. Hey, we got a couple more songs here that we're going to be playing for everybody. It is approximately, 21 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on Polkas After Dark. And we're going to send this one out to Alice Fischler in Canada. She loves this group. Here is one by Focus, one called A Dream and a Wish.
Reasons
It's a song by Focus, and that was orchestrated and written by Chaz Wroblewski. Bobby Chaz Wroblewski, a great trumpet player. He plays valve bone. He plays all kind of cool instruments. Hey, we're going to say hi to John and Marge Subcheck. Nice to see you guys here from Florida. I also saw, let's see,
we have Marlene and Tim Rohall jumped in over on our broadcast link.
Marlene and Tim, thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon. Hey, Ginger Rutkowski said we got to come down to Arizona, over to Arizona, because let's see, the boys are going to be performing there in January, and then I think the Beat is over there in February. So one of those 2 weekends, we've got to get the chance to go out there. Lenny is there in January.
I said we were looking at February for the Beat.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll work out okay. John and Marge, let's see. April Lynn, she says, happy Sunday, everybody. Everyone at my new job loves my mask. Oh, that's great. That's great. Told them about the Saturday night, and they are going to be tuning in at some point, so that would be really nice. Who else do we have in here that I wanted to say hello to? I think it was Mr. Let's see, Dave Liskevich. Dave Liskevich said that we're coming in loud and clear in Florida. Or Daniel, I'm sorry, Danny. Dan, I apologize for that. Dan Liskevich, good friend, used to live up in the Rochester area. Now he's down in Florida. A lot of people do that. A lot of people move from this area down into Florida. Let's see. Okay, how about you go over the folks in the chat room there? I do see that Les and Alice are still here. Helena Garbach, she is still here. Mary Lou Cerniak. Of course, Musical Mark, Patty Watson. CJ is here with Jennifer and also Melissa. Eddie Rieski, of course, he is here. Mr. Brian Schenkus and Rob Mazer over there at the Polish Newcastle Radio. But Jer, why don't you go ahead and say hi to the folks in our chat room there?
We have Alice Fischler, Basha Lynn, Chris Curtis, Dave Lasowski, Donna Zielinski with Teresa and Sarah, Ivan Mayers, M. Sobchak.
Did you know Ivan is starting a new job tomorrow?
I heard he's going to be working 2 jobs.
Oh, is that right?
He got 2 jobs.
Holy smokes. Wow.
Talk about being a busy individual.
While some people don't have one, he's got a scarf up too. Well, congratulations, Ivan. Good luck to you in both of those endeavors. We know you're going to do good. Who else you got there?
We have Marlene and Tim, Michelle Samansky, Scotch and Donna, Sharon, Tom, and Chelsea Golden with a Y.
Yeah.
And Vincent Sosnowski.
Well, Vinny, thank you so much.
He just jumped in.
Thank you so much. Boy, we got a good crowd here on both platforms. And I don't know who's watching us on our YouTube channel because there's just so many things. We deactivated the YouTube chat room for that reason. We have too many chat rooms going at one time, and it's kind of crazy for Jerry and I to jump back and forth. But we try our best. And
Vincent asked, what's up with the drum off between Alex and Alex next weekend between the Beat and Polka family? I didn't even think of that. Ooh, competition.
Oh, that'll be real good.
That is going to be.
That will be
Didn't even
real
think
good.
of that.
And happy belated birthday to Nate. Nate turned 5 this past week. So we want to say happy belated birthday to you, Nate. Many, many more years to come. Nate is the trusty furry companion of Mr. Musical Mark Swoger, and out in the city of North Tonawanda. Hey, also we want to make mention again, Chris Tansky and the gang at the Buffalo Polka Boosters are inviting you to the meeting this coming Wednesday, and that starts, I believe, at 7 p.m. Music by this band that we have coming up right now, which is Jerry Darlak's Buffalo Touch. And as they always play the September meeting in honor of the late Jerry Darlak, we are going to play a song, one called Girls from Chicago, featuring Kenny on the vocal.
panienki latają. Chicagowskie panienki tysięcy szukają. Chicagowskie panienki tysięcy szukają. Choć szukają, same ich nie mają. Choć szukają, same ich nie mają. Tylko jedno sukienkę, co na sobie noszą. Tylko jedną sukienkę, co na sobie noszą. Ją wypierdzie, w soboty pracuje. Hej, piątek ją wypierdzie, w soboty pracuje. A w niedzielę cały dzień, łoleczkę tańcuje. A w niedzielę cały dzień, łoleczkę tańcuje.
Hey folks, it's Sarah Z That's Me from the Sarah Z That's Me Polka Show with your host Sarah Z That's Me, and you're watching Polkas After Dark on our broadcast link with the C.com.
Yes, sirree, the sound of Kenny Michalski, Taj, and all the guys, Ricky, on the tune there called Girls from Chicago, featuring the Buffalo Touch. And again, the Buffalo Touch is going to be appearing this coming Wednesday for the Buffalo Polka Booster meeting. You don't want to miss that. It's their first meeting in, 18 months?
It's been a long time.
Well, the picnic went off without a hitch. That was a great event. Congratulations once again to Chris Tansky and all of the folks there with the Buffalo Polka Boosters, Barb, and all of them. What do you have that you wanted to mention? Was there another dance that you said you wanted to mention? Because I have something here.
There is the other one on the 25th.
The seven.
Yeah, the seven dance.
Perfect. Why don't you mention that for everybody?
As soon as it jumps up over here. You need to stop coughing. I had to wait for it to come up. So, on September 25th, the dance will be, it's a Bills pregame party featuring 7, Buffalo's newest polka band. Eric Bukowski, Andy Boychuk, Ricky Crew, Jimmy Nowaczewski, Mikey Papuga, Tom Picciano, and Brian Urbanczyk will be entertaining you on Saturday, September 25th from 7 to 11 at Potts Banquet Hall at 41 South Rosler, Buffalo, New York. Admission's only $10. For more information, contact Jim at 716-247-8340 or Rick at 716-523-8857.
Yeah. Hey, for Michelle Szymanski, she's going to go in for a little bit of surgery on the 20th. Prayers to you, Michelle. Here's one of your favorite bands, John Gora Gorale. Here's one called the Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could have been. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was afraid that somebody would see. 2, 3, 4, tell us what she wore. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, so in the locker she wanted to stay. Wyszła na plażę młodziutka dziewczyna. Pozwólcie zacząć tak piosenkę tą. Długo nie śmiała opuścić kabiny. Spojrzeń sąsiadów swych lękała się. 2, 3, 4, pokaż kogo chcę. Bo miała takie małe, malusieńkie, pyciu, pyciu, pyciusieńkie, maleńkie kropeczki na żółtym tle. Bo miała takie małe, malusieńkie, pyciu, pyciu, pyciusieńkie, maleńkie kropeczki na żółtym tle. Do kocyka, od kocyka aż po brzeg, a od brzegu prosto do wody, czegoż ona chce, bo miała takie małe, malusieńkie, tyciu, pyciu, pyciusieńkie, maleńkie kropeczki na żółtym tle, bo miała takie małe, malusieńkie, tyciu, pyciu, pyciusieńkie, maleńkie kropeczki na żółtym tle.
Hey, that's John Gora, JG, as we know him from up there in Canada. And we want to say hello to all of our Canadian friends once again and family. Once again, thanks to Mr. Les Kapuscinski and his lovely wife, Alice. Les takes all those great photographs. I know he's been itching to take a camera out somewhere to the next available dance here in the States, and hopefully that's going to be really, really soon. Because we miss seeing them. We miss seeing a lot of his photographs. But thank you again, Mitch, thank you again, Les, because of the photos that you have provided us for Mr. Mitch Biskup from the New Brass. We are going to be loading those a little bit later on this evening for the broadcast next week, Sunday. Hey, don't forget to join us. We're here on Saturday nights. Please tell your friends. We'd love to have more folks in our chat room. We've had a great crowd here so far today on Facebook Live, YouTube, and our broadcast link.
With a C.
.com.
Les, you and I need to get together.
Uh-oh.
I have finally talked Robin into an interview.
Yeah.
And the way, I don't know if you heard it yesterday or not, but the way the interview is going to go is we are going to pick bunch of people to interview Robin with a couple
that we
questions.
have interviewed already.
And they're going to do a couple questions, and then Robin's going to throw it all together.
Yeah.
And we are going to have a show that is basically Robin.
And
so I definitely am going to need your help on that one.
That'll be a lot of fun. He doesn't have any pictures of me though. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait until he comes into town, October-ish. Or November-ish, something like that, and he can snap a whole bunch of pictures of us. Hey, you guys may have noticed, I know that you were at the IPA. We have some brand new, really cool buttons that we are sporting, Jerry and I. And the buttons are Polkas After Dark. Yeah, see if you can... Oh, that's good.
I don't know how good we can get it.
Right about there.
It's
right
still
about
blurry.
But yeah, it's a little blurry. But they are Polkas After Dark buttons. They have the Polish Eagle, a.k.a. the Polish Falcon. And also underneath is www.ourbroadcastlink.com. And we have a couple of those available. We ordered a second batch. Believe it or not, we took 250 buttons, and I think we maybe have about 24 left in a bag. We handed out a ton of those at the IPA, and it's just a rush.
People wore them, which was cool.
It's just a rush walking by. Well, Dennis Ruda, who was kind enough. He and his wife have a company called the Button Factory, and they did those, and they do some really great work, as you can see from those buttons. They took me through their shop. They showed me exactly how they construct them, and it's really kind of neat what they do. They have this big machine that they pull over, and it literally stamps the buttons so that it folds them over.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool. It's hard to mention. And you know what? We might even have Dennis Ruda on and Patty
That would be good.
at some point to tell us a little bit about how they do that, because they do them a lot for benefits. If somebody maybe has had the birth of a child, the passing of an individual, and people just want some buttons, they do anything from 1.25 inches, I think, or 1 3/4, all the way up to 6 inches. And they were showing me a whole bunch of stuff over there. So thank you again to Dennis and Patty Ruda, a.k.a. D-Rod. Thank you guys for that, and we're going to be getting a few more of these. I think they're going to make us another 250 from what he had mentioned.
Nice.
So we'll have those for USPA.
Absolutely.
And a couple of other places that we go. Hey, we mentioned Mr. Mitch Biskup. He's going to be joining us next week as our interviewee here on Polkas After Dark on Sunday afternoon. And here's a tune that he made famous with the New Brass, one called, what is it again? It's fruits mixed together. It's kind of like, not a slushy, but what is it called?
I don't know.
Here it is. It's Strawberries and Raspberries Polka.
Allez fraises, les framboises, du bon vin j'en ai bu, montrez-moi toute la joie que vous avez trouvée. Oh, the strawberries, raspberries, good wine that I drank. There are friends gathered round that often I do thank. It wasn't long ago I tasted that sweet wine. What pleasure that it was. I never had that kind. It brought new life to me, some joy and gratitude. I shared my joy with friends and changed my attitude. Ah, les fraises, les framboises, du bon vin j'en ai bu. Montrez-moi toute la joie que vous avez trouvée. Oh, the strawberries, raspberries, good wine that I drank. There are friends gathered round that often I do thank. Last night I met this gal with charming grace was she. I asked her for a dance, she accepted gracefully. All night we had that joy and rested for a time. And then she asked of me to drink that fruit of vine. Oh, les fraises, les framboises, du bon vin j'en ai bu. Montrez-moi toute la joie que vous avez trouvée. Ah, les fraises, les framboises, du bon vin j'en ai bu. Montrez-moi toute la joie que vous avez trouvée. Oh, the strawberries, raspberries, good wine that I drank. There are friends gathered round that often I do thank. Oh, the strawberries, raspberries, good wine that I drank. There are friends gathered round that often I do thank. Oh, the strawberries, raspberries, good wine that I drank. There are friends gathered round that often I do thank. Oh, the strawberries, raspberries, good wine that I drank. There are friends gathered round that often I do thank.
Hey, that's a tune by the New Brass featuring Mitch on the vocal. Here's another one for you, a twin spin, as Tina Curtis calls it. Everybody knows this song. Sing along with Mitch. Wasn't there a show like that? Les Kapuscinski and Alice, you guys are too young to remember that show. Hey, Mitch Biskup and the New Brass entertaining you right there on a Polkas After Dark. Once again, this Sunday afternoon edition. Please join Jerry and I next week from 9 p.m. until 11 p.m. That's a Saturday night. We've been working on a whole bunch of upgrades to our equipment since we got back from the IPA. And you'll notice that the telephone interview probably sounded a lot clearer. We've got a new digitizer for just the cell phone itself. And let's see, we also modified some speed things with our quad core, which
there were
Brian
mentions
was,
about the music still speeding up and slowing down, but I think that's a Facebook thing.
Yes, it is. It is, most definitely. Hey, speaking of speeding up and slowing down, well, this guy's not slowing down at all. And we're talking about Mr. Mike Reel with the Real World out there in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Because he's still walking. He's still doing the 5-10 miles a day. Can't wait until he walks all the way to Buffalo. That's going to happen at some point.
I'm sure it will.
I think it's going to be for the next Pubski Pub deal that hopefully we're going to be able to do that in October sometime. But here's a Charm City Sound tune. Here's one called Mariana.
I love a girl, her name is Sweet Marina. Well, look at her, and I say Mamma Mia. But I'm not the only one who loves Marina. What can I do to prove my love is true? I realized I had to think of some way so she and I could be together someday. She looks at me and I forget what to say. So hopelessly in love, what can I do? Marina, 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 so lovely, so sweet.
Hey, say hello to Jan Dressler.
Marina, Marina,
Also Tommy Hoke once again. And our buddy Steve Gramala in Dunkirk.
Dancing, I find myself a glancing, and I wouldn't mind advancing if you just say hello. Now I know for certain, so I try some flirting, but my heart starts to hurtin' when you say no, no, no. I love a girl, her name is Sweet Marina. Well, look at her, and I say, Mamma Mia. But I'm not the only one who loves Marina. What can I do to prove my love is true? Marina, 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 so lovely, so sweet, so divine. Marina, 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 I'm wishing that you could be mine. When you're polka dancing, I find myself a glancing, and I wouldn't mind advancing if you just say hello. Now I know for certain, so I try some flirting, but my heart starts to hurtin' when you say no, no, no. When you say no, no, no. Marina said no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Hey, that's a little bit of sound of Nicky D on the vocal with you. One called the Charm City Sound Band. It's called Marina Polka. Hey, we've got time for just about 2 more songs here before we say goodbye to everybody. Until next week, here's Jimmy Weber and the Sounds. A little bit of Be My Baby Polka. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning us in. As we always say, if you've been listening in your car, thanks for the ride. We'll catch you next week, Saturday.
Had to ask my father about this girl I knew. She makes me feel so special, but leaves me empty too. He said that girls are funny, but he can't tell me why. Just tell her how you're feeling, but never tell her lies. So be my baby and be all mine. Just be my baby for all of time. If you're my baby, then in my arms you ought to be. You can be my baby if you'll only baby me. Like does she treat you good, putting you above all others, like a sweetheart should? And when you touch her sweet lips, do sparks begin to fly? Does she tell you these things when she looks into your eyes? So be my baby and be all mine. Just be my baby for all of time. If you're my baby, then in my arms you ought to be. You can be my baby if you're only baby. So be my baby and be all mine. Just be my baby for all of time. If you're my baby, then in my arms you ought to be. You can be my baby if you're only baby me.
you'll pay the price. Just let her go. I wish I'd known tomorrow could be a sunny day. Well, I've just seen